All right, everybody, good morning. It is that time of the week again. We are doing pass coverage Thursday. And I mean, if there was anything kind of good about that game on Sunday, I guess it was that the pass defense was decent. I mean, it wasn't like effective, it wasn't game changing, it wasn't anything that I'm super proud of, but you can't say the Ravens beat us up with the passing game. Now, maybe they would have if they weren't able to get so many free yards just running the ball, but I guess this is one area where you can find a little bit of positivity. Let's take a look individually and see who held up and who didn't. Like I kind of thought might happen, our linebackers did get picked on a little bit in this game. Bobby Wagner got targeted, I think, 6 times, gave up five. I'm sorry. I got my linebackers mixed up. Bobby Wagner only got targeted twice, but he gave up 2 completions for 25 yards. So that's not too bad. That's pretty workable. QB rating allowed up to 99. Bobby's still doing his job. Jordan Brooks, however, got targeted a little bit more. He got targeted 5 times for 4 completions, and he gave up over 40, it was 41 yards in coverage, which is still not terrible. I'm not furious about 41 yards, but it does kind of go to show that this Ravens team is able to attack the linebackers a little bit more than some of these other teams we've been playing. And it's not really a winning proposition to have your inside linebackers get beat like that. Not terrible, not the worst. I think John Radigan gave up a short completion as well in garbage time, by the way. That doesn't really mean much. But the point is, you can see that while our linebackers are no longer the reason why we're getting killed in the passing attack like it has been in years past, you can see that in the right matchup can still give them a little bit of a problem. So Jordan Brooks still overall holding up in coverage, 96.4 PFF grade. And our inside linebacker position in totality has allowed less than 500 passing yards through 8 games. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace. As for other linebackers, Boye Mafe got hit with 1 catch allowed for 3 yards. QB rating fell a little bit to 91.7, so not much to talk about there either. None of the other edges got dinged at all. By the way, if you're wondering, that includes Frank Clark. He's not listed here yet because he hasn't been targeted yet. So linebacker stuff is not great, but still pretty workable. It's not like previous years when Bobby and Brooks would both get completely lit up. We're just not seeing that yet. So there's something to be happy about, I guess. Cornerback. Not really good, not really bad either. Just kind of like, eh. That's kind of how I feel about this right now. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything negative about Witherspoon overall. I don't think he played particularly well against the Ravens, but that's mostly because his standard of play is so high right now because he's so good in pretty much every other game he plays. So, Witherspoon, he more than anything, he missed some tackles in that game, and that hurt. But in terms of coverage, one thing that's a little bit alarming is that there was a lot of yards after the catch on his head. So if you want to isolate Witherspoon specifically, he was targeted 7 times in that game, gave up 6 completions for a grand total of 56 yards. So um, I'm not, I don't get the sense that he played terrible, but you can definitely see the issues here. And Woolen, who I think had a similar game where he was just kind of like, eh. We got 8 targets and we've got a grand total of 5 completions for almost 50 yards, 48 yards. So both guys, it's just kind of like, eh, you know? Not good, not bad. They just kind of existed. Tariq gave up a touchdown to Odell, which is really embarrassing because Odell is not playing very well this year. Not the same guy that you guys might remember from, yeah, it's almost a decade ago now. Woolen's QB rating allowed up to 87.2, which, I mean, I can still live with it, but it's not the direction that we need to be going. Witherspoon, 73.4, still really good, but they both got dinged a little bit in this game. Trey Brown, on the other hand, he got targeted 3 times. I believe he allowed two completions for a grand total of 21 yards. And his QB rating allowed remains 65.1. So Trey Brown, he didn't, I'm sorry, he did actually play quite a bit in this game. And as you can see, he held up. So Trey Brown continues to play really good football. I thought he was one of the guys who actually played pretty well against the Ravens. One of the bright spots. And we are headed towards an interesting decision to make with these cornerbacks because so many of them are playing really, really well. The good news is we don't have a decision to make until after next year because Trey Brown still has another year left on his deal after this one, and then you have Woolen and Witherspoon staggered out. But these guys are playing like very, very powerful trifecta of corners. I know I just said that Woolen is not playing great so far this year, but he's not playing badly either. He's just kind of underwhelming. All right, so those are your cornerbacks. Finally, we're going to do safety. Jamal Adams, I think he gave up 2 completions in this game, but they didn't really go anywhere. In fact, -2 yards. So you can see that they're only really giving safeties targets on these screenplays. Like Jamal Adams has now been targeted 13 times this year. He's allowed 9 completions, and he's given up -6 air yards. Everything is yak. Everything is a screenplay behind the line of scrimmage that either goes for yards or doesn't. So Adams, I mean, you can't say there's anything wrong with his coverage this year. There's nothing wrong with the way he's covering. I don't know if he's playing great football overall, but I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, at least we don't have to worry about that part of it. Like, this is how simple it is, guys. You put Jamal Adams in the right situations, he'll be fine. 72.3 PFF. Quandre Diggs, I think he got targeted once and allowed 1 completion, but it didn't go anywhere. No yards. So nothing really changed there. 93.2 QB rating. Pretty okay, I guess. Not really worth the money. And Julian Love, who didn't play a huge amount in this game. He got targeted twice. Allowed 2 completions for a grand total of 20 yards. Not much to say there. Quiet game from him. 109 QB rating allowed now, which, I mean, not what we want. Not even close to what we want, but not exactly, in this game at least, not the problem. And Jarek Reed got targeted once, didn't allow the completion. And that's it. So, it's, nothing really stands out as being awful, but there are definitely some guys who got beat a little bit. Brooks got beat a pretty good amount. Woolen and Witherspoon got beat a pretty good amount. And it adds up. But again, the pass defense was the least of our problems on Sunday. All right, so I will see you guys later. More videos coming. That is your Pass Rush Thursday. Let me know what you think. And, yeah, we got to get back to the way we were playing in previous games if we want this to start trending back in the right direction. That's what I can say about that.